There are two versions of this story, the one the public has seen and the one that exists beneath the carefully curated statements, composed appearances, and media-facing poise. Millions have watched her stand in front of cameras during a crisis and marveled at her composure. They called it strength. They shared videos and wrote messages of support. Yet the true weight of this tragedy goes far deeper than the headlines. It is layered, complex, and profoundly personal. What she is enduring privately, while the nation watches, is far more intense and heart-wrenching than most can imagine. The life she built. At 54, she had reached a pinnacle many strive for but few attain. Her career was built over decades of determination, balancing public expectations with private sacrifices. She had navigated professional turbulence, proven her competence repeatedly, and earned widespread respect. Beyond her career, she had raised children, managed personal challenges, and met every expectation with poise. Her life seemed established, a testament to decades of effort. Yet all of this was overshadowed on that February morning. The foundation she had spent a lifetime building was suddenly threatened in a way no achievement could prevent. The moment everything changed. On February 1st, 2026, her world shifted irreversibly. Her mother, 84 years old, was taken from her home under circumstances that instantly became a national concern. The term kidnapping entered public conversation, adding urgency to an already unbearable situation. From that moment forward, her life split into two tracks. The public one, where she had to maintain composure for millions of viewers and ongoing investigations, and the private one, where she faced the raw terror of uncertainty and loss, grappling with fear for the woman who had shaped her life. The physical layer of tragedy. The first layer of this crisis is terrifyingly tangible. Her mother's age and medical needs meant that every hour without proper care increased risk. She requires heart medication to survive, a necessity that kidnappers disrupted simply by removing her from her home. Each passing hour added urgency, stress, and danger. She knew the stakes from the moment she learned of the abduction and has carried that knowledge constantly. The public saw composure, but behind it was acute awareness of her mother's vulnerability, a pressure that could crush anyone, yet she continued to function with unwavering strength. The second layer, conditioned resilience. Her ability to function under unimaginable stress is both remarkable and tragic. She did not arrive at this crisis unprepared. Her upbringing instilled in her the philosophy that weakness invites punishment and that vulnerability is a liability. Pain and fear were never meant to be expressed. They were to be set aside for action. Over decades, she internalized this lesson so deeply that performance and composure became inseparable from her identity. This resilience, admired by millions, is also the source of a hidden sorrow. The very training that enabled her survival also kept her searching for validation she may never fully receive. A mother's philosophy. Her mother's love shaped this philosophy. She provided guidance, structure, and discipline in a way that taught resilience, but also taught that love was conditional upon strength. This lesson, invaluable in some ways, left a lingering void. In moments like this, the daughter who has mastered composure must confront the absence of unconditional affirmation. The crisis does not just threaten her mother's physical safety. It reopens a lifetime of internalized lessons and a search for the simple affirmation that had eluded her. The words that would reassure her she is enough without qualification. the public performance. From the outside, she is admired for her composure, poise, and calm under pressure. The world sees a professional handling an impossible situation, carefully structuring statements and maintaining decorum. Every word, every pause, every gesture is measured. What the public does not see is the private turmoil beneath that composure, the fear, the heartbreak, and the urgent concern for her mother's survival. This dual existence, performing strength while experiencing profound vulnerability, is a core element of her suffering, and one that few outside her inner circle can fully comprehend. The private suffering, the deepest tragedy, lies not in the public performance, but in the private experience. Every hour spent facing the unknown, fearing for her mother's life, and managing personal grief in solitude magnifies the pain. It is a quiet suffering, unseen and unrecognized by headlines. The combination of professional expectation and private horror is nearly impossible to bear. The human mind and heart are stretched thin, and yet she continues. She navigates a crisis that would overwhelm most, all while maintaining an exterior the world admires and envies, masking the layers of personal anguish beneath. The desire for affirmation. What she longs for above all is simple affirmation from her mother. Not accolades, not success, not admiration, but the pure, unconditional reassurance of love. Words she has waited decades to hear. I love you. You are enough. The absence of these words during a moment of acute crisis intensifies the emotional pain. It is a quiet, profound suffering, born not from circumstance alone, but from the intersection of life's trials and the unresolved yearning for parental reassurance, a desire that has quietly shaped her existence for more than 50 years. A lifelong pattern. Her life has been a repeated pattern of performance under pressure, a demonstration of capability, and a search for validation. This pattern, ingrained from childhood, has both enabled her public success and compounded her private pain. The very lessons that prepared her for crisis have also fostered an enduring question of self-worth. Now, in the most extreme circumstance imaginable, she faces that question with intensity and clarity. The tragedy is not only in the external threat, but also in the internal, lifelong struggle it illuminates. A struggle for unconditional recognition from the person who matters most. The greatest gift. The most profound gift her mother could now give is not guidance, not instruction, not another lesson in resilience. It is something far simpler and far rarer. 3 words of unconditional love. I love you. Not because of accomplishments or composure, not as a reward for enduring this trial, but because of who she is. These words would release decades of searching, affirming her intrinsic worth and letting her finally set aside the performance, if only for a moment, and hear the affirmation she has quietly craved her entire life. The dual tragedy. Her tragedy exists on 2 levels: the immediate, visible one of her mother's disappearance, and the internal, invisible one of decades-long longing for unconditional love. The external crisis is terrifying and urgent, but it is the private suffering shaped by upbringing and personal history that adds profound depth to her story. Both exist simultaneously, intertwined and magnifying one another. The world witnesses one, while the other quietly shapes her inner life, a testament to resilience, love, and the subtle cruelty of life's timing. The plea for resolution. Above all, the hope is simple. Bring her mother home safely. Let her daughter finally hear the words she has longed for. words that would not only heal the immediate trauma, but also address a lifetime of unanswered questions. Let her experience at last the quiet, unshakable affirmation of love that transcends achievement, performance, and expectation. This is not a story of failure or weakness. It is a story of human vulnerability, endurance, and the profound need for connection in moments of extreme trial. Conclusion: you are enough. The deepest tragedy is not just the public crisis, not just the medical urgency or law enforcement challenges. It is the private longing for unconditional affirmation from the person who has always mattered most. When she finally hears, simply and clearly, "I love you," she will understand that she has always been enough, that the performance, the composure, and the trials were never the measure of her worth. She has always been enough. The journey has been long, the suffering profound, but in that moment, the ultimate affirmation of love and belonging can finally heal the invisible wounds she has carried her whole life.